Thinking back to Christmas, this Christmas just gone,
Yeah.
in comparison to the previous Christmas.
Mhm.
Tell me about that.
Totally different. Very emotional, obviously, because last Christmas there was no family at all. I've not got many photos of anything because the majority of them was on his laptop, so I've not got many photos. But last Christmas he didn't even get up Christmas morning to start with, to watch the kids open the presents. They were all excited, wanting to go downstairs, and he didn't want to, so I took them down. They started opening the presents, and then he'd come down, and it'd all sort of be about Christmas dinner. So he'd be preparing that, but I'd have to be with him preparing that. So the kids were on their own with what stuff he'd decided they could have for Christmas. And then obviously this year, as hard as it was, because obviously their dad wasn't there, you know, we woke up and they had presents at home, and then we went to family and they had presents at family, and we had dinner there, and they played games, which we never did. The kids were expected to play the games between themselves, but never with us. Never all together. So they sat and they played with their uncle and their aunties and cousins, and they loved it.
Together for Christmas Day.
So it was, you know, it was totally different, but they really seemed happier this Christmas than last Christmas. It was just...
They did get things that they asked for instead of things that he decided they could have as well.
Because he wouldn't buy them things because they were tat. I'm not spending that much on that because it's rubbish.
Mm-hmm.
So they were never into things like kids are normally into Barbie dolls or LOL dolls. My kids weren't into anything.
It made it quite hard for us to know what to get them.
Yeah.
Because they weren't into anything.
Yeah.
And my ex-partner will still say, "What do you mean you didn't have any dolls?"
Yeah.
Still can't understand.
And they don't really play with toys because they've never been able to play with. There was never any toys out at home, as you'd expect toys to be everywhere. Everywhere was always tidy, and the toys that they did have, which was more my youngest, my son, because obviously he could have cars and things like that, so he did have more toys than the girls had. But they were never out anywhere. Couldn't, you know, you wouldn't believe kids lived in my house. If you came round to my house and nobody was there, you wouldn't think kids lived there.
Really?
Because of how tidy everywhere was, and there was no toys and nothing.
So for people watching this video, what would be your message?
You don't need to stay. There is support out there. People will listen. You just need to find the strength to tell somebody, anybody at all. 'Cause somebody will help. And you can get out, and you can move on, and you can live afterwards.
And your family are there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though you don't think you deserve it, they'll still be there at the end of it.
So you've listened to Katie's story in relation to domestic abuse. What I would like to say is, if you recognise that this being your situation, something that you're currently, a situation you're currently in, or you recognise it as being somebody else that you know, then I would encourage you to report. We do have a dedicated team of dedicated officers that do support victims of domestic abuse, and they are there to help, as well as the frontline officers that would initially come and see you. There is a lot of help and support out there for victims of domestic abuse, and that would include within Derby City, Refuge, and also Derby County area would be the domestic abuse helpline, Derbyshire Domestic Abuse Helpline. But we do also appreciate that not everybody is ready to report to the police straight away. And if that applies to you, then as you've heard in Katie's story, there are people that have out there willing to listen to you, willing to help you and support you. And like Katie approached her doctor got support from social care, the police and family as well. That support is there for you. I would like to make it clear that you don't have to be assaulted to be a victim of domestic abuse. Coercive and controlling behaviour is a criminal offence, and I would advise you and encourage you to visit our website, Derbyshire Constabulary website, for some further details in relation to help and support. Thank you.